Hello, hello. In 1 minute. Okay. So right now, on gold, as we can see, price have is going to the upside. Sorry, downside. If you look at the chart from here, let's look at like this. We have this breakup block where price have tapped this area and it's continuing to upside. So first price reacted from this order block, this breaker block. Now we have this breaker block where price is reacting. So right now I'm still confused that if price gives us a change of pattern here, then we look for sell side. And if price continues and breaks this high to the upside, then we look for buy side trade. Right now, we don't know, like price is consolidating over here. If you look at this area, the internal structure is going to downside. Price of the liquidity, this is our strong low. And here again, we have this new low, high low, sorry, lower low, and price is continuing to the upside. So the internal structure is going to downside, but price have tapped this order block, this breaker block. So we want price to give us a change of pattern here in this area. But if you look at 30 minutes, you can see this is the candle which swept out this liquidity. So probably we look for a change of pattern in this area. And if price gives a change of pattern, then we can target the equal lows, not equal lows, but this swing low, lower low. Let's look at Euro USD. On daily time frame, on 8 hours, price have tapped this sort of block and it's continuing to the downside. It's continuing to the downside here. If you look at the structure, we have this structure break, price created new high. Here we have this inducement, we have this swing low, and there is order block on 1 hour, which is here. So if we find this order block, we can look for buy side trade from this order block, because right now this order block swept the liquidity, gave us a breakout structure, gave this breakout structure, and there was no mitigation. So we have this clear imbalance. So we can look for buy side trade from here. We just want to trade the reaction. We don't want price to, we don't want to target the next size. We want price to give us a change of pattern. So we can just look for reaction, which is around the next higher. So probably right now it's 1:4. Let's see what price does. And the internal structure is going to downside. If you look at 50 minutes, price is making lower lows and lower lows. Here, price gave us this imbalance and price swept this lows here, then gave us a chain of factor here. The price started to go down. So if you look at this move, there is no imbalance. Every structure over here has been mitigated. Only we have this order block. Let's go to 1 minute. Here, if you look at 1 minute, everything over here has been mitigated. So this is the upside moment which took out the liquidity. And it's also aligning with our structure, which is this one. So the structure has been mitigated and we have this imbalance. So let's wait for price to give us a chop. So then we can look for a sell side entry and we can target the next close. Because if you look at 4 hour, we have this 4 hour imbalance and we have this candle on 4 hour, which went and swept this liquidity. So it's aligning perfectly with our 4 hour imbalance and 30 minutes. Something like this. And look for change of pattern. Okay. So let's see. Please hit the like button. So on previous live, I was looking for buys on gold, but then price broke the structure here. And now it's continuing the downside. But I hope that price today it will break this high. If not, then we'll look for sell side. So this is the area. Okay, let's look at BTC. It's gold. If you look at BTC, in the previous live, I was waiting for price to hit this area. But then price did not continue to the upside. Here, if you look at 4 hour, 30 minutes, I wanted price to sweep this trend line liquidity, but then price broke the structure and it continued to the downside. So right now on BTC, price is bearish. We don't have any change of pattern. If you look at daily time frame, price has swept this previous low. It's so in liquidity, what we have to understand, if price sweeps the liquidity of high, probably it will go to downside and it will sweep these previous lows. So I think this and maybe this can price retest from this area. So this will act as a single low liquidity. So we can look for sell side order blocks. Let's go to 30 minute. Okay, 1 minute. I'll check GU also. So this structure has been mitigated. So consider this as support resistance zones. Okay. So we have this breakout structure. We have this breakout structure. We have this imbalance. So looking at the previous structures here, this is the structure, a single high, which was liquidated, and this is the whole move, which took out the liquidity. So we have this breakout block over here. We go to 5 minutes. So I think this structure has been mitigated. We can use this as our point of interest for entry. Also, we have this imbalance. There is imbalance and there is another order block above this order block. So both of them are valid. But just look at this 30 minutes imbalance. We have this order block. If you look at 4 hour, we have this 4 hour order block which took out the liquidity. So this is a 4 hour whole candle. But just mark this. So we'll just mark the 30 minutes POI. So price can tap this order block and then it can continue to the downside. So we can look for a change of pattern and probably around 1:5 trade. And we can target the next close, which is this one. Here, the structure has been mitigated, so we can target. So around 1:5. Next low is around 1:3. And if we look for change of pattern, then probably it will be around 1:10. GU, okay, let's see. Please hit the like button. So this is the previous order block from previous live where I was expecting price to give us a change of pattern. Then price broke with the here, price broke the order block, and then it continued downside. So let's start from the higher time frame. Daily, weekly, price have tapped this weekly order block, daily order block, and price is continued downside. So if you look at 4 hour, here we have this equal loss on daily time frame. But right now on daily time frame, price is making 3 red candlesticks. So overall, that our direction is going to the downside. So price is going downside, creating lower highs, lower high, lower low, lower high, and we have this impulse to the upside. Probably it will again break the structure and it can continue. If you go to 30 minutes, you can see price have tapped from order block here. So this is order block where price tapped this, which stripped out this previous liquidity. We have this imbalance, and right now it's going to downside. But if we look the structure, this structure has been mitigated. So overall, we have this trend line liquidity here. Go to 1 minute. So on GBP USD, we can expect although the higher time frame is still bearish. Here we can see price is going to downside, but we have a buying opportunity. Price swept the previous low and gave us a structure break, probably a change of pattern, and then price started to go to the upside, creating high rise and high lows. So you know this. So this is the change of pattern. Again, price broke the structure, previous structure, creating a trend line liquidity. So if we go to 1 minute, we have this breaker block which took out the liquidity. So we can use this whole as an entry. This is our refine order block. We can refine this tool here. Let's look at structure that we can look for entry. Okay, we have some more order block where it supports our bias. So we can look for buy side trade here. We want a 5-minute candle confirmation, then only we look for a buy side trade over here. And we can target the next highs, which is this trend line liquidity. But overall direction is still going to downside. But we have this 4-hour order block to the right side. Here. This is order block. Let's see if this works. We want a candle closure, then only we look for buy side trade because we are trading against the trade. We are trading against the trend because the direction is still going to downside. We are just trading this based on imbalance we have on lower time frame, and we have a liquid sweep on 1 minute. Let's look at DXY. Please hit the like button. Confirmation you can hear on GBP USD. Where is it? Okay, this is GBP USD only. Price is creating structure like this, where it's going to the upside. It have created this order block. Again, price have created order block over here, and it's going to downside. So it's very hard to tell from where price can continue. So if price is creating structure like this, we are just trading based on liquidity. So these are some order blocks where we are using its directions. So here is the same thing. We have this breaker block which is supporting our bias. We have this order block which is also supporting our bias, and we want price to create a change of pattern, or you can look for a candle closure. Like we want 5-minute engulfing over here, which sweeps the previous candle's high. Then we can look for buy side trade to the upside. So I'll give example. For example, assume this is our order block. Okay, it's a random order block. In this case, price came and directly broke the structure, right? So we don't want price to directly break the structure. We want price to engulf the previous candle. Here we can see clearly price broke the structure because the direction was going to the downside. So what we want is something like this. Here, where is the order block? Here, everything is mitigated. Okay. So there is this order block price scheme. If you look at previous structures, here the high was not broken. Here price broke the candle with a higher high, like with a wick. So you can use this as a confirmation with wick also, because when price is breaking the structure, it will create bodied candle. So we want confirmation like this. It should break with a candle body. But when price is breaking in the live market, it will create a candle body. But when you enter, it will create a wick. So it's still a good sign that it can continue to upside. Instead of price is still going to downside like this here. So let's look at gold chart here like this. Hello, hello. Let's see how. Okay. So here price have broke this structure like this order block, which swept out this previous liquidity, and now it is going to upside. So right now we don't have an entry because overall the structure, if you look at like this, price have tapped this breakup block, and now probably it will break the previous structure and it can continue to upside. So I don't think we will find an entry today, but tomorrow we can look for a liquidity sweep and then we can look for upside trade. Once this high is broken with the candle body, then we can expect a move to the upside and probably it will break all this trend line liquidity to the upside. Let's see. Let's hit the like button. नेट प्रॉब्लम आ रहा है. स्ट्रीम हेल्थ तो गुड है. Let's see US 30. Here I marked this order block, but then price broke the structure because so this is the candle will switch out this liquidity. We have the breaker block and price directly without giving any engulfing. Price broke the structure. So this is what I'm saying when I'm saying we need a engulfing or a confirmation. On weekly time frame, price has swept this previous low here. Let's go to daily. Daily we have this wick, and if we look at daily time frame, we can see this candle closed here with a wick, so it's basically consolidating at this area. But you can see this wick has mitigated this order block somewhere, sweeping this previous liquidity. Also, it swept this liquidity. So probably we need price to break in one direction, so we can use that direction to enter. Here, I think price can continue downside. So I don't know right now, but I think price have mitigated this order block, so it can break this trend line and go to downside again. It can react to the upside because we have this breaker block here. We also have this order block, and there is a breaker block here. Let's see. So this order block. So this is the 1 hour breaker block with our order block setup to the upside. We have this trend line equity. So probably we can expect price to tap this area and it can continue. So let's look at DXY. If you look at DXY, price have tapped this order block here, higher time frame. We still have the strong low and we have the strong high. And if you look at the structure, price have tapped this order block, created new high, It is reacting because of this candle, and we can expect a pullback after this. So if you go to 30 minutes, we can see so there is order block over here. If price reacts from this order block, then probably We can expect downside move on Euro USD also. So probably it have tapped this. Let's see. It's reacting, but if you go to 5 minutes, if you want to look for engulfing, then this is the low, but it's very this because this candle is very long, so we want price to create more structure so we can look for engulfing. Let's see. We want price to come slowly at our order block and then we can look for engulfing. Euro USD, okay, I'll explain again. So we have this buy side area on Euro USD, and this is the order block where this moves with the previous liquidity and then gave a structure break. And if you look at this area, everything above this structure has been mitigated. So we can see this candle has been mitigated. If you go to 50 minutes, we can see the structure has been completed. Like this price action has been fulfilled. There is no imbalance. Only we have this imbalance, and we have a trend line liquidity here. So we can expect price to move from here to the downside because price have created this trend line liquidity to the downside also. You can look for a change of pattern once price goes to the downside. Again, liquid sweep and entry. So you can catch this move to the downside. Gold analysis. Right now on gold, I am still confused what to look for. Right here, if you look at 4 hour, 1 hour, let's look at 4 hour. Price have tapped this 4 hour breakup block, and we have 2-3 bullish candles, and we have this bearish order block, 4 hour bearish order block. So previously I marked this order block for sell side, but then price broke this order block with the candle body. So we want price to break this high so we can look for buy side interest. Price can still react from this area because this is also order block which took out the liquidity. So this is order flow. But if you look at daily here, this candle has been like engulfed 90%, only 10% is remaining, and probably it can continue to the upside. Here we can see the same thing happening. So we can look for continuation trades to the upside. BTC, price was with this previous liquidity. The liquidity from this high created this liquidity sweep. So once price sweeps the liquidity from the upside, probably it will go to the downside and it will sweep this liquidity. So just by using this logic, you can look for downside trades. On 1 hour, we can see this is previous day's low, like from Monday. Here we have this 4 hour imbalance. We have this 4 hour order block, and this is our 30-minute, 50-minute order block, and we have this imbalance. So you can look for sell side from here. Please hit the like button. Gold, I've already shared the gold. Ethereum, low time frame 30-minute analysis. All drawings. Let's start with Ethereum. So weekly support or resistance has been broken. Price have created this high. It's still continuing downside. So we have the strong low on BTC. Price broke the structure. We have this daily order block here. And if you look at imbalance, so this we have this imbalance, and here price have tapped this imbalance on daily time frame. If you look at 4 hour, there's order block on 4 hour from which price is reacting. But if you look at this 1 hour structure, it is bearish. Price is making lower highs and lower lows. So here we want price for look for buy side entry. We want price to sweep the liquidity. So I don't think price with a 1 wick it will start to go to the upside. But you can look for sell side trades because the direction here, intraday direction, is going downside. If you go to 50-minute time frame, you can see price with the previous liquidity. We have this order block, 50-minute order block. So you can look for sell side trade from here, and you can target the next low or at least this imbalance. Look for change of character in this area. Right now, everything over here is liquidity and it's all internal structure. So you have to skip this internal structure. Let's see. And if this 30-minute high breaks, then probably it will go to the upside, but I don't think that will happen. When a price goes to the upside, it will sweep liquidity and then only it will continue. Let's see here. If you look at this, price created low and then price swept the low and then it started to go to the upside and then created this order block and it started. So you can see this pattern. Whenever price creates low, breaks the high, probably it will sweep the liquidity and then it can continue. Here also same thing. You will see price will create low and then it will break the previous low. So on Ethereum, we want price to sweep this low and then it can continue the upside. So on gold, everything here, everything is liquidated. We don't have any clear structure. If you look at this, there is no imbalance, nothing. There is no liquidity sweep. Only there is this 30-minute candle which took out the previous liquidity. So if you look at, uh, so this is the refined order block on Euro USD last candle. Let's see. So price is slowly starting to create structure. If you look at 1 minute, so price have created this low, new high. Let's wait for price to break this pure structure. I think gold will drop. Yes, I'm still not sure what gold can do. Okay, because if you look at the structure over here, it has been already mitigated, but although price can react, here if you look at this breakout block, which this push to the upside block structure, already it has been mitigated over here with this candle body. And after that, if you look at the structure here in this leg, there is no structure. And for price, for gold to go down, it should create low rise and lows, and then it should sweep, and then it should continue. But I don't think so it will happen. Let's see. If you look at the structure on gold, here everything has been mitigated. Only this candle here is the candle where we have this imbalance. To the upside, everything has been mitigated. Here, everything over here is been liquidity. So it can only react from this area. Holding from 3325, trailing 336. Holding from 336. Yes, you can hold. I think it will continue. So hold. You can close 50-60% and you can hold this trade to the upside. Because if this breaks, if this high breaks, then probably it will shoot and you can target 3376. If you look at this structure, 3 minute, price have already swept this previous liquidity and creating strong lows to the downside. And we don't see any structure to the upside forming any low or any change of pattern. So it should continue the upside. Almost price have broke the structure. I don't think it's for like, see, simple psychology is if you're uh, controlling the price or if you're controlling the AI or anything, what you will do is if you know that people who have sold here have their stop loss above this high, then it's much easier for price to sweep this liquidity and then it can continue because you are taking more liquidity from this highs than going from this order block because price goes from sweeping one liquidity to the other side. That's the logic, right? And whenever price goes in other direction, probably it will create liquidity and then it will sweep that liquidity itself. For example, if price wanted to go down, it was much easier for price to here create this liquidity, trend line liquidity, and just sweep this trend line liquidity, react from this order block, tap this structure, and then it continue. So this is how you can drive price very efficiently and without spending too much money. And this has been already mitigated. So so price is reacting based on this breakup log. Yeah. And once this breaks, then it will use as this downside moment to retest and then it continue. Something like this. It's been 5 to 6 years. I've been trading smart money. So this is what I mean when I say that price should create some structure in order block. So let's wait for price to break this low. Then only we look for sell side trades from 3 to 4 years. Good enough, bro. This year in June, that's nice. You have to survive years. That's when you know the phases of the market. ICT, that's nice. I don't use that ICT concept because it's too much content to consume. I like to trade based on logic and simplicity. People make SMC too much complex, and people create every new order block, some kind of order mitigation block, breaker block, and So we are almost at 9,999 subscribers. Are you able to feed your family and your good life? Yes, bro. But if you are learning, you should have some side business. If you want to get rich, then you should have multiple source of income. So not every time you will find good setups. Like yesterday, I didn't look for any setups. Like I didn't find any good setup yesterday. The point at which I'm struggling is risk management, lack of income. That's what I'm saying. If you're doing something with trading, like trading, what you can do is like it's only 2 to 3 hours where you have to look for trades in the market. You don't have to sit in front of PC every day, right? So in the that time you can look for something which, like for example, you can do. If you're studying, then you can study, or you can do some else job or any business. You're right on this topic. I learned SMC, and there are a lot of one but only thing in the market that's how much simple and boring it was. People, it take me to where, but I fail. But now I stick only one thing. That's what I'm able to make profit. Yes, that's right. Like you can make money with even indicators also if your psychology is right. And if, for example, if you have any job or any business, what you if you're doing, and that gives you confidence that you know that you are financially independent and you are somewhat somehow you are still making money. So that confidence gives you to take trades, because what happens uh, if the market is not good and price hits your if you're on losing streak, right? And because of that losing streak, if you see any setup forming, then you doubt yourself if you want to get into the trade or not, and probably you will miss the trades which will go in the profit, and you will catch the trades which will go in loss. And what people try to tend to do is they try to hold, for example, if they, this for example, if you have this order block, and if they have taken this sell side trade from here, and they know that this is our stop loss, that they will try to hold this trade. When price goes to the upside, they will try to hold this trade. They will think that they hope that price will go to the downside, and they will try to create hypothetical situation that price will tap from this order block and now it will go to the upside. So this stop loss becomes this much, and they will lose more than 10% in one trade. But when it comes to profit, when price goes to the downside for a little bit, here only they will try to think reverse, like price will react from this order block and it will continue to the upside, and it will go to the upside, even though their bias is correct, and they will quit the trade very early. Here only they'll catch the one on one, but they'll hold the trade 3:1, not 1:3. So if we want price to break this low, because what can happen is, because this low has induced the structure, created new high, then it can continue. So we want price to break this low. We can target the next lows. We have this order block also. So you can go after this structure break here, or you can look for a change of pattern. Right now, we have this imbalance and we have this order block where price can create liquidity and tap this order block. So in this liquidity, it should tap this order block and it can continue. So you can target the next low. We have this liquidity also. We have this trend line liquidity. We have this trend line liquidity. Okay, so I'm ending this live here. See you tomorrow. We want price to break this low. Thank you for watching.